21-year-old man was found hanged just 2 months after his wedding. Who is responsible for his death? Don't miss it. The psychics will uncover a shocking secret. This is Psychic Investigations. Only real and astonishing stories here. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate high-profile criminal cases and incredible mystical anomalies. This 21-year-old young man was named Mikhailo Sheremet. He lived in a small town in Ukraine. About a year ago, he died. His body was found on the outskirts of town, near the highway, 3.5 kilometers from home.
Everything just stopped inside me.
The deceased worked at a local restaurant as a waiter. 2 months before his death, he got married. He and his wife, Victoria Yashchenko, lived separately from their parents. He seemed happy. His whole life was ahead of him. But one Sunday evening, Mikhailo left home and never came back.
According to the official police report, Mikhailo Sheremet's death resulted from mechanical asphyxiation by hanging.
This news shocked the victim's family and friends.
He never said a bad word. He always smiled. His eyes always shone.
His loved ones don't believe that Mikhailo would have taken his own life. After all, everything seemed fine. A beautiful wife, a good job, and many plans for the future.
We don't believe he could have killed himself.
Maybe there was some conflict. It's such a shame. He was so outgoing. He was such a good boy.
The victim's family is convinced Mikhailo was murdered. During his funeral, they noticed some suspicious details.
We noticed a black and blue mark near his neck, right behind his left ear, about the size of a 5-penny coin, either from an electric shock or from being hit.
If a stun gun was used, it could have immobilized a person for up to 20 minutes. During that time, the muscles would seize up, and the victim wouldn't even be able to lift an arm. Theoretically, such a state could have been used by the killer, or killers, to put a noose around Mikhailo's neck and hang him.
To understand what really happened to Mikhailo, his family turned to people with extraordinary abilities.
We want the psychics to help us learn the truth about how our son died, because I just can't believe it.
Psychics Kayal Alekperov and Jana Shulakova begin working with a photograph of the deceased.
I sense that some woman was involved in this young man's death. I see a rural house and a fight over money. I hear the word graves.
What I see frightens me. I see a spider trapped in a jar. There's a kind of curse where someone tries to block all the roads for a person. There's something else. I can clearly hear someone saying that this guy's place is in the cemetery. That's just absurd. But the phrase clearly sounds like he will be buried exactly in that place.
The parents of the deceased meet the psychics in their own home. This is where Mikhailo was born and spent almost his entire life.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much for coming.
Let's go inside the house. I saw the spirit of some elderly woman near the deceased's mother. She looked very angry, and if she could, she would simply kill this mother. I need to perform a ritual.
Kayal Alekperov is now in Mikhailo's room. Everything is as it was during the boy's life. Meanwhile, Jana Shulakova went outside.
Yes, I think I'll walk around a bit. The house is disgusting. It's impossible to stay in that room. The atmosphere feels like a tomb. I saw a spider trapped in a jar again. It is so cramped and uncomfortable that it doesn't even have the strength to move.
I'm trying to connect with what happened to your son. I feel it was cold when he died.
It is spring, March.
For me, it's not like this was something the person did intentionally to themselves.
So the young man was killed? Who and why could have done this?
Your son was an incredibly kind and sensitive person. I feel he was a true Ukrainian. a patriot.
Mikhailo had a collection of Cossack figurines. He loved Ukrainian literature and from childhood practiced folk dances. His favorite was hopak.
He loved Ukrainian clothing.
I saw your son hanging by a rope, and next to him was some woman.
There's no woman involved at all. I clearly see that the rope is being held by male hands.
I see the image of a woman. I can't say her age or what she looks like, but she is standing next to your son.
Well, the hands I see are only male.
I say what I see, and I see a woman. She really wanted your son to die. I do not sense a man near the deceased at the moment of death.
Who is really behind Mikhailo's death? A man or a woman?
I need to visit the place where your son's body was found.
Go to the scene. For me, it's easier to go to the cemetery.
I would like to go with you.
All right.
I'll take you to the cemetery.
Just 15 minutes later, Jana Shulikova and the deceased's father, Volodymyr, arrived at the cemetery.
This is my son's burial place.
A strange grave, so close to the neighbors. I sensed that the man buried next to Mikhailo was not a relative, but for some reason there was always some connection between them. We need to speak with the boy. What were you doing that evening? He's arguing with the guy. He's known him for a long time. A friend?
On the last day of his life, Mikhailo met up with his friend Sasha. At the time, he was 19. The boys had known each other even before Mikhailo met his future wife online.
He said he liked a girl, and he suggested they start dating very quickly.
We chatted online. 2 days later, we met in person. He was kind of sincere, open. After a couple of days, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I agreed. A month later, he proposed.
Everything moved very quickly between them. He said he deeply fell in love and wanted to be with her so much.
Mikhailo disappeared on a Sunday. His wife went to visit her parents, and the guys were doing some men's stuff. The deceased had a car, and they decided to wash it.
It turned out Sasha was the last person to see Mikhailo alive. That day, Mikhailo's wife, Victoria, came home from her parents around 9:30 in the evening, and Mikhailo walked Sasha back to his place.
The friend leaves. They part ways.
According to the analysis of Sasha's phone records, he was at home all night. There is no information indicating his involvement in Mikhailo's death.
But what happened after the friends said goodbye? Did the young man meet his killer on the way home?
Right at this spot, about 50 meters from the entrance, Mikhailo and his friend Sasha parted ways. It was approximately 10 p.m. on March 3rd. Sasha went home to the left. The place where Mikhailo Sheremet's body was found is in this direction, about 3 kilometers and 500 meters away. It would have taken him about 30 minutes to walk there.
But how and why did Mikhailo end up near the highway?
You know, I get the feeling that Mikhailo is walking. He's thinking about something all the time, and he's scared.
Meanwhile, Kayal Alekperov and the deceased's mother arrived at the spot where the young man's body was found.
I feel that same feminine energy again, and your son is in a very strange state. He was very worried about something. At that moment, I felt aggression from some woman, and not just toward the deceased, but toward his entire family. My spirits showed me some house. Your son dreamed of having a place of his own, but he never got the chance to live there.
Yes. We bought a house for our son.
The parents bought the house for 10,000 hryvnias from one of the local elders who lived there with his wife.
We bought the house and took care of the old man and woman who lived there.
Mikhailo's parents wanted to renovate that house so he could live there with his wife. But it wasn't meant to be. The young man died, under mysterious circumstances.
And what's the name of your son's wife?
Victoria.
I feel that they loved each other, but sometime before the tragedy, they started having some problems in the family. They were arguing.
I saw a vision, like Mihailo was walking around the city, maybe about an hour before his death. And he was very worried about something. I got the feeling that Mihailo's wife might have had someone else. It keeps showing me a circle of family, specifically a wedding. At the wedding, there's an argument with someone who's an outsider.
As it turned out, at Mihailo and Victoria's wedding, there was one of her acquaintances named Alexander. The girl insists he's just a friend, but Mihailo's parents are sure he's her ex-boyfriend.
I've been friends with him since I was 14. He's a very dear person to me. He's always supported me, helped me. Really, he's just a friend.
They all came to the wedding, like a whole crew of her ex-boyfriend's friends. She's still friends with him to this day.
I see some argument at your son's wedding, and it somehow involves Victoria. But I don't quite understand how.
According to Mihailo's parents, there was a conflict between Victoria's friend and their son at the wedding.
There wasn't any conflict between them. We were sitting there and he kind of said to Mihailo, "Let's talk. Don't be angry. Don't get upset. Don't be jealous of me. First of all, I have a girlfriend. And second, she really is just a friend to me. Like a little sister, nothing more."
I think my son might have either suspected something or gotten jealous of her. Or perhaps even caught her in the apartment. Maybe there was some misunderstanding between them. And they got rid of him there.
We need to go and talk to the wife.
Can we meet with Victoria?
Word that the psychics had arrived in the town spread quickly. And when the clairvoyants reached Victoria, she and her mother were already waiting at the gate.
Will you let us in?
I don't want her coming in here, she shouted, threatened my family, and said she'd go to all the churches and light candles so that all my relatives would end up in nooses. After that, should I let her in the house? Never in my life.
God bless your lips if they speak the truth.
What Victoria is saying is truly chilling. Right after the wedding, she and Mihailo lived at her parents' house. One day, he went to visit his mother. When he came back, he started packing his things. He said that from now on, they'd be living at his place.
His mother came here to our house, saying she would go to every church and light candles for the repose of my family's souls. And she was screaming, "I will pray, I will get on my knees. Your family will end up in nooses."
Only after her beloved's funeral did Victoria learn that on that day, her husband intended to end his life.
His mother told me at the funeral that he came home. They quarreled and locked himself in his room. She knocked but couldn't get through to him. Then she forced the door open, broke the latch, and he was jumping back from the wardrobe because there was a rope hanging there.
Was Mihailo truly contemplating ending his life before, and did he finally go through with it?
You have sinned. You sent my child to the grave. Yours is out at bars, running around, while my son lies rotting in the ground.
Aren't you ashamed now after how you all tormented him? Aren't you ashamed to stand here and lie? Were you the one holding the candle?
Then tell me.
Do you see any guilt in yourself?
Explain to me. Why did my child live in your house and end up in the cemetery? Why was he crying here?
He wasn't crying with me. Hit your chest.
A crowd of locals gathered around the deceased's former family, as the women were yelling so loudly they could be heard all over the street.
Let the neighbors stand here as witnesses. Let them say whether my child was running around bars or whether she was working.
Shame on you for talking about this child like that.
May God bless your lips.
I am so sick and tired of all this. Everyone shut your mouths.
The child is like,
Quiet!
We came here to help you understand how your son died, not to get involved in your family issues. If you don't calm down, we won't be able to work.
After those words from the psychic, the women settled down, and Victoria invited everyone into the house.
Now I'm seeing some kind of argument. It happened at your wedding and is connected to money.
The photographer told me to take the largest bills and some dollars, stuff them in my dress like this, fan them out, and take a photo with Mihailo. But Mihailo's mother started making a fuss that a man should hold the money.
It wasn't quite like that. When people gave them money, Mihailo held the bags with it. Then his mother-in-law came over and snatched them from him.
Valentina, I didn't snatch them.
I said, "That's the children's money. Give it back to them."
Valentina, that's not what happened. That's not how it was.
I took the money from Mihailo. I said, "Let me handle it alone."
It wasn't you who took it, Victoria.
I took the bag.
Her mother took it.
Don't I know what I did?
Valentina!
I'm telling you, I took the bag.
You spent that money, right?
That money was used for the funeral.
Who is this friend of yours?
I've been friends with him for 5 years.
Why were your personal life and relationship with Mihailo discussed with him?
Because Mihailo upset me a little, I needed someone to cry to.
Victoria says that after the wedding, Mihailo changed a lot.
The first evening seemed normal, but then every night Sasha started coming over. He was a groomsman at the wedding. They began throwing parties.
So, is Mihailo's friend Sasha, who last saw him alive, to blame for his death?
They drank heavily. Sometimes they would fall asleep in the bathtub. I had to drag them to the couch because they were not in their right minds.
At that moment, I felt that the guy didn't kill him, just like Victoria's friend.
On the night Mihailo died, Victoria's friend Alexander was in Kiev with his girlfriend. His involvement in the murder was not confirmed.
I saw the silhouette of a woman again. There is the spirit of a woman here. She's standing over there, pointing at you with her hand. She says, "They owe me."
A deceased married couple?
That's the grandmother from that house.
Then I understood why from the very start of the investigation, Kayal saw a woman and I saw a man who were somehow involved in Mihailo's death. They were those deceased elderly people. Spirits can kill too, especially if they were deeply wronged in life, which is what Mihailo's parents did.
I see this old woman among other elderly people like herself.
She was in a nursing home. This woman is from that house. The house was transferred to the in-laws. And when that man died, the in-laws were supposed to care for the woman until her death. But she ended up in a nursing home. Before she died, she cursed them a lot.
When I was still at the cemetery, I felt that the man buried next to Mihailo is connected to the family. It turned out he was the owner of the house now owned by Mihailo's family.
We cared for those people and didn't have the house transferred to us. We bought it, cared for that man, and buried him. The woman refused.
People say they mistreated that grandmother.
We interviewed the neighbors of the grandmother, named Halina. People told us things that make your hair stand on end. When the elderly woman was taken to the nursing home, she cursed the entire Sheramet family.
Halina cursed them fiercely and said, "One day you will lay all your children next to Anatoly, one by one, God willing. I won't see it, but others will."
The worst part is that Mihailo was really buried next to the old man Anatoly. But why did Halina wish so much harm on the Sheramet family? Neighbors said that only after her husband's death did Halina realize she was no longer the mistress of the house.
When she found out, there was probably a dispute. After Anatoly's death, they stopped caring for her.
I want to say that all of you are responsible for Mihailo's death. None of you truly loved him. You all wanted him to do what you wanted. Every one of you was dear to him. But he didn't know how to live in harmony with all of you. You didn't care about what was in his heart, and that broke him.
The boy was caught between two fires. On one side, his parents. On the other side, other parents. What did the boy do? The boy shut himself off. When you came, where did you find Mikhailo with his friend?
In the room.
What did you do? You just snapped. You slammed the door and locked yourself in the kitchen, is that right?
I just closed the door.
The boy was left alone. He couldn't go home because there they'd scold him for getting married. He wanted to show everyone how he felt. Excuse the expression. All of you together drove him to the noose.
You pressured him too much and set the bar too high.
Who, me?
You all need to understand that the boy was left alone with all of you good people who claimed you loved him. He was left in a vacuum, in a jar, all alone like a spider. He suffocated from your all-consuming love. Stop arguing with each other. Enough. I'm sick of it already. The boy already paid the price for it. Enough. Kayal, we need to go because everything we could say here we've said.
So, did Mihailo really commit suicide? But the relatives insist they saw marks on his body from a stun gun. Where did they come from?
Most likely, this small mark is an abrasion that formed from the pressure of the knot of the noose. If a stun gun had been used on Mihailo's body, there would have been a characteristic mark in the form of small, pinpoint burns. This is called an electric mark.
Many thanks to these psychics for figuring out and clarifying this situation. We should have prayed for the child because he was a very good kid. But as for their own guilt, like a snake, they shed 5 skins and never feel their own guilt.
There's always a way out of any situation. What he did should never have happened. He should have just talked, and everything would have been resolved.
A young woman and her family are experiencing a series of misfortunes. What force is driving the poor soul to the other world? Don't miss out. The psychics will expose a demon's lair. Welcome to Psychic Investigations. 20-year-old Olena Kolesnichenko lives in the Kiev region. For the past 3 months, her family has been plagued by mortal danger.
I was beaten and cut. My brother had a bleeding ulcer, and my mom had a car accident. Now there are just 2 of us left. I'm afraid for my and my brother's lives.
Olena's brother, Dima, almost bled to death while she miraculously survived a brutal attack by assailants. However, their mother died in the accident. Olena suspects that a dark force is behind all these misfortunes. She claims that lately, something terrifying and unbelievable has been going on in their house.
It's so scary. We heard hoofbeats before Mom's death. And my brother saw devils with horns there.
Before Olena and her brother suffer irreparable harm, our project's experts, psychics Kayal Alekperov and Larisa Mohila, go to meet them. Larisa Mohila reads information with the help of her tarantula, named 13.
I sense a powerful entity. It has huge wings. It embraces a person with those wings, and then the person disappears.
And I see a man holding something sharp. Oh God, he's slitting his own throat.
I see a woman now. She's conducting a terrifying and dangerous ritual. I get it now. The woman is invoking this entity to serve her, but she can't control it. It seems she's destroying everyone around her by wielding the entity. But who she is and what power she commands, I can't comprehend right now.
Pull over, please. What a strange place. The force I feel seems to be bound to it. I think we'll return here later today.
The psychics arrive at Olena and her brother's home.
Hello.
Hello?
Let us tune in.
What I sense now is a little terrifying. Look what I got from the cards. This is the demon Lucifer. This is the most terrifying card in the deck. It's clear that Olena and her brother are in danger. I sense an entity with huge wings. And the wings seem to have feathers and claws. They encircle you and want to take you with them.
Something is choking me, preventing me from working.
I feel those clawed wings. They're around your neck, trying to strangle you.
The entity is powerful. Not to frighten Olena, I tried to keep myself together. I decided to drive the entity away from the yard so that it wouldn't harm anyone else. To do this, I summoned all my jinns.
What was it?
An entity with wings and horns is circling over the house.
I don't even understand what it is. It's changing its appearance all the time.
I'm so confused. I see two men. They're arguing. One of them has a knife. I don't know how all this is connected to you, Olena. I kept seeing a kaleidoscope of images. Different murders, men, women. Then I saw a woman invoking an evil entity. But I couldn't figure out how it all fit together. I sense that your mother is no longer alive.
No, she died. It happened last year.
According to the official version by the police, Olena was killed in an accident. She rode her scooter and collided with a cyclist 13 kilometers from the village. As a result of the collision, the cyclist was not injured, while Olena suffered a head injury.
Olena's mother slipped into a coma. For all 7 days that the woman was unconscious, her daughter was by her side. She hoped until the very end that her dearest person in the world would survive. But fate had other plans. Olena's mother died from brain hemorrhage. It's hard to imagine what this young woman went through, as her mother literally died in her arms.
It's unbearably hard.
And your brother also had a misfortune. I feel pain here.
Yes, he had an ulcer. He came home from work and said he had a stomachache. We called an ambulance and they hospitalized him.
The doctors were shocked that the young man even walked, claiming he could have died had he waited a few more hours.
And I also feel that you were looking for a job, but you were deceived.
Yes, it's true.
Olena worked as a cashier in one of the capital's supermarkets and was looking for a side work. A colleague told her he knew where she could earn good money, and the prospect employer would give her all the details.
I went to meet that woman, and she told me I would have to be a prostitute. Naturally, I refused.
But Olena couldn't even imagine what trouble she got into.
I see a forest and two men. You're shouting as one of them is holding a knife.
Yes, it's true.
The people who offered Olena to be a prostitute took her out of the city.
I see wounds. The wounds are right here. And the knife, like this. Many times, you're being stabbed.
Yes. These are knife scars.
What a chilling revelation. It's hard to even imagine what poor Olena was through.
Olena was severely beaten and sustained 9 knife wounds. Thinking she was dead, the attackers left. Miraculously, Olena survived. She crawled to the nearest village.
I found someone's country house. The people called an ambulance and the police. I remember the police coming, and then I blacked out.
It's a miracle Olena survived, but the pain and fear from her ordeal have never left her ever since.
The people who abused you, they were caught.
Yes.
Everything that happened to Olena is beyond comprehension. It's no wonder she is afraid of dying and wants to know the cause of the horrors that are befalling her family.
The things that happened to your mother, brother, and you are linked to the dark force that's circling here.
The spirit of Olena's mother approached me several times, repeating, "The woman is to blame. Find the woman."
To understand what this force is, I need to go to the place where your mother died.
This is where Mom crashed.
I need to perform a ritual. I wanted my jinns to show me in the flames where the entity came from, but the fire wouldn't hold. I sense the presence of several spirits here. They're over there. I see two men. They're Muslims. It seems they knew your mother. I see an argument, a knife, and blood.
Behind the souls that Kayal just described, I see the entity with the huge wings.
The men I see came here from far away. It seems they arrived to work here.
They rented a house here. They made dried plums. Their boss was stabbed to death.
It happened in a nearby village. In one of the buildings, there was an illegal candy production line.
The victim was around 40 years old and of Tajik nationality. His face and neck had 18 stab wounds.
But how is this horrific murder connected to what's happening in Olena's family?
We need to go there and see the house where the murder occurred.
After the brutal murder in the illegal confectionery, the production stopped. The building stands locked.
Larissa, do you remember I told you we'd return here? This house is somehow connected to what's happening in Olena's family. We need to get inside. I feel aggression pouring out of the place, and I also sense the presence of an otherworldly entity.
This is Maria. She lives next door and keeps an eye on the house. She used to make candies when the confectionery was open. Maria goes to get the keys to the house.
The death of Olena's mother, the attack on her, her brother's illness, and the murder in this house are all connected. The force we sensed somehow changed the life of each of those people. But why did it choose them? Why did they suffer? And did it in such different ways? Now I see two men arguing over something trivial. They're talking about a woman, and then one of them seems to try to run away.
One man was a constant worker at the confectionery. His name was Shekrukam, but the locals called him simply Shurik. The murdered man was his boss, named Alim. After the body was found, Shekrukam disappeared. The man hid in the nearby grove for several hours, but it was cold outside and he froze quickly. So he returned to the house and hid in the attic. The next morning, he turned himself in to the police and confessed to killing his boss.
I sensed that they started arguing here.
The first man, the older one, said something that provoked the conflict.
He said the boss said something about his mom. So he punched him in the shoulder. A fight started. The boss ran outside, but he caught him and finished him there.
He lived here for 8 months. He was a good fellow.
I couldn't believe he did it.
Nevertheless, the man's guilt was proven, and he was sentenced to 11 years in prison.
The force we sensed seemed to push the young man towards murder. It resides in this house, and sooner or later, it changes the life of everyone who ends up here.
I also worked there, and so did Mom.
This is something unbelievable. Could the lives of other people be in danger? But where did the entity come from? What is it doing here? Who summoned it?
Larissa, an elderly woman's spirit, has appeared. I need to go into the house. I hear the woman screaming and see a man standing next to her.
He was doing something around the house, helping her. The man didn't live here. Then, suddenly, something like a veil covered the man's eyes and blinded him. The woman grabs her head, screams, several blows, a blow to the head.
It turned out that several years ago, another murder took place in this house. The previous owner, an elderly woman, was killed.
Ola Jivotok stopped answering the calls from her daughter who lives in Kiev. Fearing for her elderly mother, the woman immediately arrived, but she didn't find her mother at home and called the police.
A week later, the investigators found the body. It lied in a grove several kilometers from the house. The woman died from a head injury.
The victim's daughter informed the police that her mother used a mobile phone, and the detectives located it. It was at a market where a man from the same village as the victim was trying to sell it. He immediately confessed.
My book shows me that the man was possessed by an evil spirit which ordered him to kill the old woman.
The psychic is right. You are watching the police footage of the suspect confessing to the crime.
I heard a voice saying she was a sinner and deserved punishment.
The culprit lived on the same street as the elderly woman. He was married and had 3 children. The locals still can't believe he could commit murder.
When they told us it was him, no one could believe it.
It's incredible because both the man who killed his boss and the one who murdered the elderly woman were always calm, polite, non-confrontational, and completely normal people. It gives the impression that something otherworldly indeed influenced them.
He was an absolutely sane family man, but then he said a voice from above told him to do it.
After a psychological evaluation, Olha Zivotok's murderer was deemed insane and sent to a mental health clinic for treatment.
The evil entity lives in this house and affects everyone who has ever been here. The dark force we sensed was summoned by a woman who couldn't control it. The demon proved stronger and cleverer than her, and she also suffered at its hands. Who lived in this house before?
I see a woman doing something with her hands. Like she's sewing or embroidering something.
It turned out that the first owner of this house was a village seamstress.
She lived here for a long time.
Just a moment. Wait.
What's going on?
God, what happened?
When we ran to the room where that strange sound came from, neither I nor Larissa could enter it. It seemed like some force was pushing us out. It was trying to drive us away.
She guards this house. And now she's crying. She had 2 sons. A rope. The sons seemingly hanged themselves.
The locals say the seamstress had 3 children, a daughter and 2 sons. The boys indeed died by hanging in their youth, while their mother was still alive, while her daughter, after all those misfortunes, sold the house and left.
Her husband also has something wrong with his throat. His throat, only blood drips from it, as if it were cut.
He slit his own throat.
It was the man I'd seen in my vision at the beginning of the investigation. But I hadn't understood what it all meant then.
She shows me she's sticking a needle into a doll, right into the heart. And I see needles, candles, and different ritual objects in her hands. She worked with demons.
The locals say the seamstress befriended the devil and, like all witches, died a terrible death.
She was dying in great pain. They even dismantled the ceiling in her house so she could die.
She's showing me her actions. She draws a circle, a summoning symbol. This is a seal of summoning. She addresses dark forces, and they help her.
This was the same woman we'd seen before the investigation. She summoned the terrible force that killed her children and husband, and later took more lives.
I hear the words of summoning the demon, and he comes to her, the demon she summoned.
Larissa, the demon has appeared next to us again. The woman summoned him, but she couldn't control him. I was shocked. The demon stood right behind us. But what's most horrifying is that he went and stood behind Olena.
What does he want?
This is the entity the seamstress summoned during the ritual. He deceived her. During the ritual, something fell somewhere, and when she ran to pick it up, she stepped out of the circle and interrupted the ritual. So the demon stayed in our world. He wraps anyone who enters his territory in his wings, and when he lets go of them, they change completely. He can change their life, or take it all together.
We need to save the people who have been here. After all, the demon can intervene in anyone's life at any moment.
I need the mirror hanging in the house. I must immediately seal the demon. When I begin the ritual, nobody should talk to me.
The light's out. But why?
There will be no more deaths from the power of this demon. When I perform a ritual, the camera shouldn't record it. As long as the camera is running, my candles won't light properly. Look, the matches go out too. There will be no more deaths from the power of this demon.
I stopped shivering.
Thank you so much.
Olena turned to the psychics to understand why the house was ruining her family's life. However, it turned out there were others affected too. The cause of all the misfortunes was not the house, but magical rituals performed improperly.
After the psychics visited me, I feel a lot better. It's like a load off my shoulders.
A poltergeist is hunting down the residents of a residential building in the downtown of Ukraine's capital. Don't miss out. Can the psychics stop the otherworldly force? The psychics received this video from a resident of Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. 3 months ago, in a building in its downtown, Katerina caught a paranormal phenomenon on camera.
We were on our way to our friend's birthday and decided to film a greeting for her when we glimpsed a shadow shoot by. And then we heard rustling downstairs. There was a chair down there. We filmed everything that was happening. It started moving suddenly.
The young woman's story shocked us, and we asked the residents of the building if they had witnessed anything of the sort.
The clapping and some other ghastly noises.
I feel constant fear. Something. Some shadow walks around my apartment. Some images hurl around. I think it's something evil. Something terrible.
I woke up to the feeling of being strangled. Honestly speaking, I felt fear. I'm really terrified.
I saw a man standing in some kind of white shirt about this long, and his hands were hanging low. He was standing like this.
I heard some shuffling in the corridor, and I saw something dark shoot by. When I turned around, it rushed under the table and then somewhere else. It wasn't big, it was little, but I don't know what it was.
It turned out that the male residents of this building have been dying one by one.
My neighbor's husband was 57 when he died. And another neighbor had a husband of about the same age. He died too, and so did her son-in-law. My dad died last year. He was 51. My husband is the only man who is left alive.
What were the causes for the deaths?
Heart problems.
Natalia is 22. Her husband, Alexander, works at the Treasury. They married last year and started living with Natalia's parents in this building. But since then, the young man's health started worsening without any apparent reasons.
I feel dizzy, and I feel my heart hurt every night. When I'm at work, I feel all right, but once I come back home, I feel something like negative energy.
The doctors didn't find any problems with Alexander's heart. The spouses fear it might be caused by an otherworldly entity that's lurking in the building.
We are desperate and we don't know what to do.
A boy was recently born to the family. His name is Artem, and now the spouses are seriously worried about their son's safety.
Something strange is happening to him. He screams at night like he's panicked.
The doctors are helpless. They say the boy is absolutely well. The parents even had him baptized, but it didn't help.
He's absolutely calm during the day, but in the evening he starts crying bitterly.
I'm worried about him. I think he sees something.
But what makes the family different from the other residents of the building is that a few weeks ago, something entirely mind-bending started happening in their apartment.
I woke up in the morning and felt something wet and sticky lying on the bedsheet next to me. I asked Mom what it was, and she said it was kissel.
I made the kissel, poured it in cups, and put them on the table. But when we woke up in the morning, it was all over Natalia's bed sheets.
Like somebody had poured that kissel all over me.
Natalia said she'd heard somebody laugh and sprinkle the kissel over her in her sleep.
I heard the voice and laughter. The laughter was female.
After that, little Artem's parents decided to ask the psychics for help. They went to see clairvoyant Yaroslava Fedorova.
Please have a seat. Do you have photos of the apartment? Did you bring them by any chance?
We did. This is the front door, and this is our bedroom.
As soon as the couple entered, I saw an entity behind the man. It wasn't tall. It was female and had something transparent behind her. Something like wings. And the entity approached the man from behind and tired to embrace him. This is the card of love. And this is the card of a child, but the child is dead. See? This is the card of death, but the death is blindfolded, that is, it strikes randomly.
It's so awful. The boy is so small, and he can't say what he's afraid of and what's threatening him.
And a dead man. Look, his death was strange, and he seems to have died recently. As far as I see, it happened less than a year ago. And it feels like everything inside him ruptured. Like his heart was torn to pieces.
I guessed it was my father. At that moment, I felt warmth from behind, as if he had approached me and embraced me.
Natalia's father used to live in the apartment too. Volodymyr only turned 51. He was very fit and actively helped his daughter with her wedding preparations, but he died a few months before the wedding.
The medical conclusion said the cause of the death was chronic ischemia. Although he, as long as we lived with him, he was never on sick leave.
Lydia says that Volodymyr had felt his death not long before he died, and even chose a photo for his tombstone.
He said, "I don't know what's happening to me. I can't control myself." I don't think his death was natural.
The man is gray-haired? Yes? Your father?
Yes, he was gray.
He's showing that you are next?
My heart sank.
He's standing behind you. He's trying to protect you and your child, but he can't do it. He felt the same thing you're experiencing now. Exhaustion and fear. Look. This creature. It killed him. The transparent creature with wings. I had a vision in which the entity with crystal wings was embracing Natalia's father. And I kept hearing a child's laughter. This was the moment his heart burst. He died from the entity's embrace. And now, it was stuck to Alexander. There's another dead man in the apartment. And he's bluish, like he's been strangled. He's wearing a long shirt.
This is unbelievable. Is the ghost the clairvoyant is describing the one that one of the residents of the building saw?
I saw a man standing in some kind of white about this long.
I asked him, "Who are you?" But he didn't answer and was just standing still. I needed to understand if he was connected to the winged entity and if he could harm the residents of the apartment. Look, the candles went off. It's a very bad sign. It's terrible. Look, do you see it? The profile. It's a little skull.
I wanted to get home as soon as possible to check on my son.
Who's sitting with the boy?
My mom.
Natalia calls her mother immediately. The woman tells her that Artem has been hysterical since the morning and she can't calm him down.
He sees it in an old mirror. It emerges from it and stands in the corner of the room.
The mirror is on the left side.
I saw a man, and his gaze was fixed on the boy. I felt great threat that was emanating from him.
Yaroslava Fedorova accompanies the spouses home. Clairvoyant Rubina Cybulska also joins the investigation. We installed a monitor in the courtyard so everyone could watch the events inside. Because all these people want to understand what is going on in the building where they live.
Are these the psychics?
There is a psychic in front of the building.
Yaroslava, hello?
These are Natalia and Alexander. I'm having a vision of a hanged man looming over the child and watching him closely.
I've seen this man. He looks odd, like he came from the old times. He's above the child, do you see? Quick, get the boy. We need to put a protection spell on him while we're trying to sort it out.
Give me a glass full of salt to put the candle upright. The man's spirit emerged from the mirror. A mirror is a portal between the realm of the living and the world of the dead. We needed to neutralize the spirit, at least temporarily, to prevent him from coming out of the mirror. Let's put it in front of the mirror.
The salt fell and spilled.
Our protection jar with the salt fell.
All of a sudden, there was a crash and it fell. There was nobody near it. I got worried about my son.
It's calling me somewhere. Is it?
A female spirit.
She's taking away men. And what is this man doing?
He's taking children. He's threatening your child. There are two spirits here. It feels like they're looking for something.
The woman wants to take something. You took something that belonged to a dead person who wanted to keep the thing.
The woman is showing me something oblong.
It's something that is passed from generation to generation in your family.
We have my mother's dress.
It turned out that the female line of the family has been passing on the great-grandmother's embroidered dress for several generations.
Great-grandma's embroidered dress. It's very beautiful. It's more than 100 years old. It's made of old cloth that people used to make and embroider themselves. The blouse was used to invite people to a wedding. She wanted to be buried in it, but it stayed in the family.
It's a widow's dress.
All the women who married in it ended up widows.
Yes. Grandma widowed when she was 29. Great-grandma widowed at 29, too.
Natalia's mother became a widow recently. And now, her son-in-law is also in danger. Is it possible it's the great-grandmother's spirit taking away all the men of their family, one by one?
She wanted to be buried in that dress, and so she wanted to take it back. That is, they needed to put it in her grave.
She simply wanted to return the thing that belonged to her. Her last wish before death was to wear that dress.
But there's something else, something more dangerous. You know, I feel cold that's taking me that way. Men can't live here.
They all died from the same condition.
All the men who died in the apartments on this floor in the recent years did it suddenly, and they were all diagnosed heart problems.
Is the owner of this apartment home?
Come in.
This woman's name is Katevan Bukedzi. She and her husband, a businessman, arrived from Georgia, but then he suddenly died.
He felt he would die soon. When we were at our friend's birthday celebration, he said, "It's the last time we see each other." My friend later told me he said farewell to her. Men are being taken away in this building.
The female spirit is doing it.
I have a feeling the walls here are not original. Like it used to be a common space. A single room.
It used to be a single room.
Such buildings used to have very large rooms with luxurious decorations.
The building is old. It was built in the last century. In case the paranormal phenomena are somehow connected to its past, we invited a historian. It's possible he can explain the visions the clairvoyants have.
I have pictures running in front of my eyes like slides. The room with the high ceiling, people in old dresses, a piano's playing, and I hear a child's laughter.
Yaroslava, look here.
Oh my goodness.
A man's corpse. A man's corpse lying. Oh, look.
It was terrible, unimaginable. Very long ago, a fortune teller told Mom a man's restless spirit roamed our apartment.
He's in a white shirt with ruffles. This is an old apparel. He's bluish. He's hung and...
In the late 19th century, the family of Moise Galperin, one of the largest sugar manufacturers of that time, lived in this building. He provided sugar to the emperor's court.
This man, he had everything, but he died bearing great suffering. I can't be here. Let's get out of here, please.
Oh my God, it's so awful.
This is unbearable, so much pain.
Isaac Galperin committed suicide. He hung himself in his apartment.
I see great grandeur in the room. Everything is so luxurious. It used to have luxuriously decorated walls. There's gold and beautiful molding on them.
I saw the old pictures. There were very beautiful tables and chairs with high backs, covered in cloth, and the plates were gilded.
Lighting was among the most peculiar elements of decoration of that time. In this case, we're talking about chandeliers, custom-made on order.
I hear children's laughter, and I hear that from this part of the apartment. The child, a little girl, a bow on her hair. And she's running and hopping.
Isaac Galperin had a daughter whom he loved madly. Her name was Sophia.
I see a piano or a grand piano. The girl was probably doing her music exercises. And she's running there from there. Something falls here. And it scatters. Everything scatters like glass wings. I saw a huge chandelier fall on the child.
Little Sophia finished playing a composition and she needed to change the sheet. She went to the desk, on which sheet music. The chandelier suddenly fell, and the girl was gone in an instant. The chandelier was made of bronze and crystal in the shape of a large bunch of grapes. It weighed around 150 kilograms.
She was crushed. She was running to her dad, calling him, and it happened the moment he entered the room. His child died in front of him. He could do nothing. How could he live after that, considering he himself had bought the chandelier?
He hung himself after that.
He died the following year, unable to live without his beloved daughter.
You can't wish such tragedy even to your enemy.
So it means she strangled all those men.
She's searching for her dad. She wants to embrace him, but she doesn't understand how she could do it.
The spirits of the girl and her father. They're searching for each other. So he hung himself. He took his own life.
Yes.
And she died tragically. They're in the parallel worlds, and they can't meet.
The two spirits of the father and his child, they keep searching for each other. The girl's spirit will keep taking men away, seeing her father in them, and the man will keep taking children. So we decided to try to help them meet. All right. So we need a round loaf bread and threads from this home.
And knives.
We'll use them to cut the paths leading here, and thus we will reunite them.
He felt he would die soon. He's in a white shirt with ruffles. This is an old apparel.
I hope you won't cry anymore, and your tears will be tears of joy and happiness.
We are sincerely grateful.
Thank you so much.
Sometime later, we checked if anything had changed in this family's life.
My son is a lot better, and so is my husband. Now all those events are like a memory of a bad dream. We are grateful to the psychics for helping us.
A mystical house of horrors. Why are ghosts attacking a mother and her 3 daughters? Don't miss out. A shocking confession that will infuriate the psychics. Olena Tiupa is 42 years old. She works as a nurse in an intensive care unit and raises 3 daughters of 16, 17, and 19. The father left the family. For many years, the mother and her daughters had to live in rented apartments and hostels. They only had one dream: to have a home of their own. Eventually, Olena took out a loan and finally moved with her daughters into their own house.
I was so happy that I wanted to jump.
However, things changed quickly. And now, no one would want to stay within these walls. It all started 6 months ago, when the family heard footsteps in the attic.
It sounded like someone was walking in the attic. I went up to the attic, but there was nobody there.
Then, mystical phenomena started happening in the house.
I have an icon hanging in the kitchen, and it flew from one corner to where the TV stands. Then the wiring failed, and then the boiler exploded.
And then something that shocked the entire family happened. Olena recalls going to the kitchen to get some water. The next moment, she felt cold hands on her neck, but there was absolutely no one around.
My vision started to darken. I began to suffocate.
Then Olena fainted. The noise woke up one of her daughters. The girl still can't hold back her tears, remembering how she found her mother unconscious in the kitchen.
It's so terrible. I'm afraid for Mom.
The girls tried to revive their mother, but she didn't feel well at all.
I had a high fever. I was just lying there all limp and unable to get up.
An ambulance took Olena to the hospital. The doctors barely brought her back to life. However, she couldn't imagine what was happening at home with her daughters.
It was an awful night. We were going to go to bed. The curtain started moving.
I could clearly feel someone's presence.
I heard something scratching in my closet. Then its door opened by itself and something like mist started coming out of the closet.
And a dark silhouette.
And I felt cold around my shoulders.
It felt like my throat was being squeezed and I couldn't breathe.
The girls bolted out of the room. In the hallway, a large wardrobe fell on them as if someone had pushed it down. The sisters barely crawled out from under the debris and ran out of the house. They spent the rest of the night hugging each other on the doorstep.
I've even had a slight stutter ever since.
Since then, similar terrible things have occurred in the house almost daily. Out of fear and desperation, the family asks the psychics to help them.
I would really like to ask the psychics to come as soon as possible and help us.
The clairvoyants Jana Shulikova and Hala Polishchuk took on the task of helping the family.
I had a very strange vision. In it, I was standing at the threshold of a small enclosed dark space. I stepped over the threshold and onto shards of broken glass. I looked into one of them and saw a face. It was a male face. It was horrible, disfigured, and cut all over. I looked more closely into the shard and suddenly the man disappeared. Then I turned around, and there was an old clock on the wall behind me. The hands on this clock stopped at exactly 2 o'clock.
This must surely be connected to that family. Hello.
Hello. Come in. Thanks a lot for coming.
The mother and her daughters are visibly nervous, but it's not surprising at all. They have nowhere else to go. The woman is an ordinary nurse whose salary is not enough to buy a new home, and they can't sell this house.
I felt a strange, bitter taste in my mouth. This happens when I come into contact with the dead, the taste of death, if you prefer. But at that moment, living people stood before me. I shifted my gaze to Olena, and the bitter taste intensified. I could clearly see a human silhouette, like a shadow, behind her.
Ouch, I'm feeling dizzy.
Mom, do you need water?
Bring water, somebody.
Olena is unwell. The clairvoyants help her to recover.
I felt the same last night.
It turned out that Olena didn't sleep at all the night before the psychics arrived. She says she heard eerie sounds in the house again, and then she felt like something was choking her.
I saw a silhouette reaching out to strangle Mom.
The strange entity disappeared, but no one slept a wink until morning.
My God, you survived attempted suicide.
I tried to kill myself as a teenager. After I was raped, I went to the garage and tried to hang myself.
Olena's daughters are shocked as their mother never told them this terrible story. Even now, she refuses to speak about it in front of the camera. One day, when Olena was 15, she came back from school. Her cousin was at home. He assaulted her. Unable to bear the shame, the poor girl decided to take her own life. She grabbed a rope and ran to the garage.
The noose didn't tie.
This saved Olena's life, but a minute later, she faced another blow. Her cousin ran into the garage, knocked her to the ground, and started beating her violently.
He dragged me out of the garage and beat me because I wanted to hang myself.
It's horrifying, but how does this story relate to the paranormal phenomena in the house?
You have a very strong sense of guilt over someone's death. It's your family. Someone who shares your blood.
I had a strong urge to walk around the yard. I felt a strange cold. A woman's spirit appeared. Here. She's elderly. Dark hair, black clothes. Are you her granddaughter?
That's Grandma.
Katya started having a real hysterical fit. It turned out that the girl's grandmother, Yulia, died 3 years ago.
She's suffering.
Yes, she was Mom's favorite.
Grandma was my best friend.
Katya never left her cancer-stricken grandmother's side. She was there until the very last moment of her life and still can't come to terms with the heavy loss.
I would come and lie next to her, embracing her.
She says, I'm here to get the ring.
She says, the man died because of the wedding ring.
Olena remembered that shortly before her death, her mother told her a terrible story from her life. She had a boyfriend when she was young. He proposed to her and gave her a ring, but she refused. After that, the young man hanged himself.
He proposed to her a few times, but she kept refusing. He couldn't take it and hanged himself because of her rejections.
Yulia couldn't forget the tragedy until the end of her life.
She often cried.
The spirit of Olena's mother came for a reason. She asked to bring her the ring that her boyfriend gave her, so it would be with her.
Olena says that when she was dying, her mother really did ask to put that ring in her coffin, but her daughter kept it for herself.
The ring with the red ruby that I took, it cracked suddenly in the middle of the night.
Olena had to fulfill her deceased mother's request and find the ring and take it to her grave. Her mother wasn't to blame for what was happening in the house. But who among the dead was so angry at her that they wanted to destroy the entire family?
It feels like a fog envelops everything here.
Jana Shulikova decides to check her senses using her pendulum.
At that moment, I heard a familiar sound, the loud ticking of a clock. The ticking grew louder and louder, then it suddenly stopped. And the clock's hands froze at 2 o'clock.
Jana Shulikova had already mentioned her vision where the clock's hands stopped at 2. It's now 1:55 p.m. The tension is rising. What could this all mean?
I thought the stopping of the clock was an omen of disaster, of death. Could it be a warning of impending danger? Oh, I wish I'd figured it out sooner.
What's this?
Out of a sudden, a window in the annex broke. The glass shattered, as if something had been thrown at it. But what was that? There was nothing nearby that could have broken the glass.
I went behind the house as I thought I saw someone run there. My God, this is terrible.
Jana, what's wrong?
He's standing, holding the glass.
The man.
I'll cut you. And he's cut all over. It was the spirit of some man. His face was slashed all over, and a powerful feeling of malice, hatred, and anger was emanating from him. The spirit is angry at you specifically.
The girls are genuinely frightened, but Olena seems unsurprised by the clairvoyant's words. It turned out she recently encountered something similar. She heard her dog howling in the yard at night and went out to calm her down.
Sarah, my dog, started reacting to me strangely. She was howling and whining.
And then Olena turned around and froze in horror. A ghost stood before her.
It was a man with his face slashed and covered in blood. He seemed so angry.
Olena says she ran back into the house in fear. When she calmed down, she went out again. There was nobody outside. The gate was closed, and there were no traces. Olena hadn't time to recover from the shock when suddenly something strange started happening to her old mobile phone. The phone hadn't worked for about a year, lying idly on the shelf, but now...
It started turning on and off by itself. Then I heard some kind of hissing, and then a muffled scream. Help!
The voice was coming from the phone, but the device was off. This is absolutely mind-boggling.
The spirit of the man was furious. Nonetheless, I still decided to engage in a dialogue with him to find out who he was and what he was doing there. Don't. No, don't.
Jana, what's wrong?
Everyone's horrified. The psychic's hand is bloody.
She cut her hand.
I'm shocked. She cut her hand.
The blood on the ground.
Jana. My God, did you cut your hand?
It wasn't me. Oh my God. The man, he lunged at me with a piece of mirror. I covered my face with my hand. Ouch, it hurts.
The clairvoyants ask everyone to leave them alone and prohibited to film them.
What is it banging? Who's in the house?
But there's no one in the house. Olena and her daughters are outside.
Mom, your rose fell.
Indeed, the flower pot is on the floor. But how could it have fallen? There's no draft in here.
It's unbelievable. You know him, you definitely know him. You loved him, but you didn't save him. He's covered in blood because he was in pain. He was crying and calling you.
Uncle Sasha.
Sasha was Olena's partner. She met him 10 years ago during the celebration of the New Year's Eve with friends. They never parted after that, and even lived together. But one day, after an insignificant argument, he packed up and went away. The next morning, Olena found out he had died.
He called me at 11 p.m., asking to come over. I said, Sasha, hold on until the morning. It's night, how can I go? And at 2 a.m., Sasha died.
It happened 6 years ago. According to the official version, Sasha had a heart attack, fell, and hit his head.
The clock's hands in my vision stopped at 2. That was the time of Sasha's death. It all seemed to fit. But why was the man's spirit so mad at Olena? After all, it wasn't her fault that his heart stopped, and the quarrel is really nothing. It's a very minor reason to seek revenge, even after death. Moreover, the spirit I saw was bound to the house. But why was his face mutilated? And what did the mirror have to do with that all?
What's the man's spirit doing in your house? He didn't die here. And why is he so aggressive?
He's angry not because he wasn't saved, but because he's drawn here. At that moment, I saw another spirit in the house. It was a woman. Standing by the doorstep, she waved her hand and said, I don't want to be here. Come, I'll show you my real home.
Jana Shulikova goes out of the house and the yard, heading towards the neighbor's house.
A woman died here in a fire.
As it turned out, the woman was the former owner of Olena's house.
Another spirit, a child, approached the spirit of the woman standing by the gate of her house, and the child said sorrowfully, we didn't want to be there. We were made to return.
I see a child coming, a toddler of about 3, somewhere from there.
A small child died here of leukemia.
When the locals learned that the psychics had arrived at their street, they came out to meet them.
That fence, the one that looks like marble, there are bodies upon bodies there.
An old man who lived there died, and then his wife also died. Then their son died, and so did their daughter. Their 3 nephews died too.
One by one, spirits appeared around us, and the most horrifying thing was that they were all mutilated, just like Sasha, Olena's husband.
But the most shocking thing was what Olena and her daughters later revealed. They believed that they saw the spirits of their deceased neighbors in their house.
The boy comes first. He's very angry. Then some noises start in the house, and the bloody-faced man appears.
Then the long-haired woman in black.
This is terrifying. Why have all the ghosts from the neighborhood gathered in this house?
At that moment, all the spirits disappeared. I turned around. They were all standing in Olena's yard. It looked like they were all drawn there by a magnet.
It seems something has fallen in the house again.
The books fell.
magic.
Wait a minute, where did you get these?
I read them.
Why?
It was like a game for me. I tried to read cards.
Tell me more about this.
I tried spiritism, summoning spirits.
Well, great!
First you summon spirits, and then you ask for protection. Jana inherited her gift from her grandmother. I found a teacher to learn some form of protection. And you just took a book, read it, and that's it.
The clairvoyants are angry, but you can understand Olena. She's raising 3 daughters on her own. She has no support. Perhaps the poor woman wanted to improve her personal life with the help of magic.
Who is this?
My brother.
Who was here?
His wife.
Why did you cut her out?
So that she would leave him alone.
What the hell? What right did you have to interfere in someone else's life? Did you ever think what you were doing?
It turns out that Olena's intentions were not so innocent after all. It appears that she not only tried to master magical rituals on her own, but also sought to harm others.
It was Olena who summoned the spirits of her partner and neighbors. I was bursting with anger. She had absolutely no idea what she got into, and then we had to risk our lives trying to help her. What spirit likes being pulled from their rest? When they come to this world, they are angry because they were hurt. That's why the man with the mutilated face had the mirror in his hands. Olena used the mirror to summon spirits, and passing through the mirror for a spirit, I don't even know how to describe it. When a mirror breaks and shards fall on your face, does it hurt? This is what a spirit feels. Spirits must always be released. Once you have summoned them, you must release them.
She didn't understand what she did.
I'm not dealing with her problem. She messed up herself.
Mom, don't cry.
Jana, help us. Please help us. She's very unhappy.
I felt genuinely sorry for the 3 girls.
Pray. Pray to yourself, asking for forgiveness, and remember every instance when you did magic.
Put your feet on the ground. This is an ancient ritual to break the link with the other world. Now I'll make candles. Burn them in your house for 3 days, 1 candle each day. Don't extinguish them yourself. Don't blow on them. Nothing. If it goes out by itself, falls from a draft, or gets knocked over, whatever, if it goes out, don't relight it. Throw it away into the river, for example. And burn those books. All of them. Luckily, we arrived in time and still could help the family. I hope this will end Olena's experiments with magic. But there are millions of people around us who are ready to risk their lives and the lives of others for dubious magical experiments. I hope this story will be a good lesson for them.
I'm not a little girl, but I was so foolish. I got into things I shouldn't have touched.
We did everything we could.
Thank you so much.